some of you were with me at Labor Day last weekend. You saw when she was on stage and had that coughing fit, she was like, no, I'm doing this. There wasn't, don't somebody else take the mic, or no, I'm doing this. And then she did an event later in the day, flew to Illinois, or I guess it was Iowa, Quad Cities, and did an event there that she did, and she did fine. That's kind of what she was up to. So I'm sure on Friday she said, okay, I think I can manage this. And I think the campaign said, in retrospect, we might do that one differently. But I think they made it plain pretty quickly yesterday in a timely way, in a way that I think was appropriate. Yeah, I don't want to talk about her and my conversations, the content of them, except just to say that I reached out to her as soon as the incident happened on Sunday, as soon as I was aware of it. I was kind of buried sadly in my briefing memos and didn't know of it right away, but I reached out to her as soon as I knew, which was pretty quickly after it, and she was extremely responsive right away, and again, kind of going back and forth, and even, kidding me a little bit because I have unpleasant, I've had a day that may not be so pleasant, but you're having an unpleasant one too. She was kind of giving me trouble in that way. I could just say, I'm not going to get into the content, but we talked yesterday after the incident happened. Yeah, it is a warm and friendly and communicative relationship. And I think anytime I need to talk to her, I do, and we talk immediately. And sometimes it's one-on-one, and sometimes it's as part of a larger group. But we have a very, very good communication, and I just feel an unusual degree of synergy between the two of us. Even, we've done a couple of interviews where it's been kind of eerie, like I'll start a thought and she'll complete where I was going, or vice versa. So we have very good communication, and we have some similarities in our backgrounds. Midwestern kind of church background, small business background. She grew up in a Republican house, and so did I. I mean, I kind of know where she comes from, and I think she gets where I come from. We don't talk every day, but in terms of communicating either directly or in a larger group where we're communicating, it's, most, like within a 2-day period, we're doing something together, talking to each other. Yeah. Well, again, I think the important thing is if you let, deplorable statements go unchallenged, that's actually divisive. I would call on others to condemn deplorable statements. I mean, there are too many people who are supporting Donald Trump, and I'm talking about elected officials, who don't go on record and condemn deplorable statements. It's a guy who wants to be commander-in-chief of the military but says the military is a disaster. I think that's worthy of public condemnation. Or this is somebody who goes after a judge who's Mexican-American and says the very fact of his heritage makes him unqualified to render a ruling in a case. That is a comment that's worthy of condemnation. I think when we're at our best, we condemn comments and attitudes and ideas more than we condemn people, and that can sometimes, you can sometimes just in the heat of the moment adjust that a little bit one way or the other. But if you don't condemn deplorable statements, if you don't condemn divisive statements, then you allow our politics to become divided. And if there's one thing that unifies Hillary and me in our whole public service careers, it's been we're trying to pull people together and not allow people to be divided, especially with kind of old style, we're afraid of you, we're blaming you, you're second class. That old style division, which has been a feature of American politics and a feature of Virginia politics, it just never does anything good. So you got to call it out. You have to. Yeah, I'm just going to say the first time that I talked to Hillary about this was Sunday, so I'll just say it like that. I don't want to get into the character of communications, but I reached out to her as soon as the incident happened on Sunday, and we had a good dialogue there. But other than that, that was the first time we talked about this, about health. I've answered the question. I mean, I obviously knew from Monday when she was coughing that she had a cough and it was likely an allergy. But the first time we talked after when we were together Monday was I reached out to her after yesterday in New York. All right. Thank you.